Well, we now go on to our panel discussion. I'd like to call upon the champion of gender diversity in maritime. Captain Shankar has led initiatives to encourage more women to pursue careers at sea. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome and put your hands together for Captain Arvind Shankar, GM. And joining him on stage, we have Dr. Sanjeev Vakil, the founder and CEO of HIMT. Ladies and gentlemen, keep the applause rolling. Also joining him, we have Captain Sriprakash, the Dean, Faculty of Maritime Studies, Ganpat University. Let's hear it. Joining them on stage, Captain V. Chandrasekhar, the Principal AMET City College. Please welcome on stage. And Captain Ashutosh Apandkar, Principal TS Rahman. Please come up on stage. We also welcome the Director Training OSM Thome Group, Mr. Devesh Gautam, on stage with us as well. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your panel, and I hand it over to Captain Arvind Shankar.
All right, very good evening. Thank you, Shankar, for inviting us to this panel. And thank you all for staying back. I know your stomach is grumbling a little bit, and I can see a lot of smiling faces, so yes, you acknowledge that. Well, we'll make it really fun for you guys and worth your while, because usually I'm sitting one among them and I get a lot of questions. Today I have the fun of putting them, in the hot spot and giving them the difficult questions. Great conversations today, indeed. We started off with Karan talking about methanol vessels, which was named in India. Later on, we spoke about, Captain Pradhan had spoken about what kind of skills we need to embed in our students. And of course, then we spoke about future fuels. And, we spoke about latest tools and technologies. So now let's put these guys in the hot seat with the same questions as to say, what have they done? Let's hold them accountable and let's talk about what have they done and what do they want to do going forward to really give aajkal ke bacche a fair shot of staying aligned with what's happening in the maritime industry. So thank you so much, and we'll begin with Captain Sriprakash. Captain Sriprakash from Ganpat University. Let's talk about future fuels, because that's really the talk of the town, and there is so much happening in this ecosystem. Unfortunately, the syllabus, as we all know, is a little bit behind on this, but a lot of MTIs have been moving proactively to integrate future fuels into their syllabus. So, sir, can you tell us what is Ganpat University from your experience? What are you doing to include the learning of future fuels like LPG, ammonia, methanol, hydrogen, and a few more interesting ones like nuclear and battery, actually, which is being ordered in the shipping industry today?
Thank you, Shankar. It's a high time. It is at the end of the sunset. But I would like to tell you one thing. Last year, when the STCW was being revised, we had gone to the academic council. There, our vice chancellor told that if we have to do it, because these changes to the alternative fuels are not taking place because of cost or not because of something which happened from steam vessel to diesel vessels. It is happening because the regulations are coming. And the regulations will be coming very fast. It will be 2026, 29, 30, and 40. Carbon emission is one of the major problems which we'll have to take. The examples of alternative fuel, whether it is LPG, ammonia, methanol, biofuel, which Madam talked about, each one has got its own physical characteristics and chemical characteristics. Each one has to be treated, stored, and bunkering facilities has to be different. We thought at that time only that will include one compulsory course in our curriculum for BSc and BTech and GME. And that we named as alternative fuel of 3 credit, 45 hours. In addition to this, we separately made a course curriculum giving biofuel one, battery another, nuclear another. Nuclear we have not added, but methanol, ammonia, LPG and others we have made one, which our cadets have to choose. And without that, they will not get it. To make their life more simple, we have also made it online so that they can do it in their leisure time. So this is what we have done in our curriculum. One thing I must tell you, it is the skill which is very important. We have to do it. So we have made this curriculum as per the job role. What has to be done? We have not made it as a curriculum, not like a syllabus. We have made it as job roles that these are the things are there, these are the outcomes. And this is the Ganpat University has done it, and we have implemented it from 2024-25. Thank
Wonderful.
you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Very insightful. And I love the pace at which you speak, sir. I mean, I wish I was a student when you're taking a class. A lovely pace about and explaining to us in detail how you're implementing future fuels.
Yes,
in the
we were
syllabus.
talking to madam and I was talking about biofuel, B30. And B30 has got its own advantages because when I was making a curriculum, I had to also do. And one thing more, we have a research team which is, 2 of our professors is doing research on biofuel.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, and very insightful there, sir. I'll move over next to Captain Chandrasekhar. Captain Chandrasekhar, with technology developing so fast, and maybe a lot of companies are developing technology all of a sudden announcing, hey, we are going to do this today. Maybe the curriculum is not ready for it yet, right? So how can shipping companies and equipment manufacturers who are working together very closely, how can they contribute? Maybe it's important for them also to participate in the training and upskilling. How can they contribute to the design of real-world courses where the students are actually upskilling themselves on equipment that very close to reality of what they are going to use on board?
Good evening, everybody. Thank you so much for staying up so late. We will make it quick. The shipping companies must work very closely with the maritime training institutions to offer technology, offer curriculum, consultations. They must consult, and also offer on-board training when the cadets go on board on all these new technologies. Then the other thing that I can think of is industry and all the MTIs must work very, very closely together with all these new emerging technologies. Here, a couple of days ago, I read in news that Anglo-Eastern are putting up a bunkering station, a skid or something, that is what it was, by which they can, they hope to persuade governments for the advanced IGF course, that the bunkering option that people need to go on board can be done ashore. Now, this is a very welcome thing, and once the government agrees, more and more institutions should put up such this thing. So all these emerging technologies need to be discussed, need to be trained, and industry must cooperate together. Shipping companies with the MTIs. This is nothing in isolation. Secondly, equipment manufacturers must share their technologies, even donate equipment to maritime institutions so that hands-on training can be imparted. Now, they are not doing a big favor to anybody. They are, in fact, favoring themselves because their own equipment will be installed on ships more and more, what they share with the MTIs. And the users, end users, are all these young cadets who are going to become officers and engineers on board ships who will benefit with hands-on training in the MTIs. When they go on board, they're not stuck with something very strange and, they are baffled about. So these are the type of initiatives which we can look at.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, sir. Very insightful conversation on that. All right, over to Captain Apandkar. I'm going to ask you something. You have actually done very well on this also, I'm sure. Now we are talking about a lot of technology which is being added, and now we have spoken about how to bring this equipment closer to the students. what about the faculties? How do we upskill the faculties? Most of the MTIs have got faculties who've been around for a very long time, rich in experience on the basics of marine engineering, nautical, seamanship. But the technologies in the last decade have accelerated, and they're constantly evolving. And to my knowledge, at least, there is no centralized program where we can upskill the faculties all together jointly. So maybe something on a collaborative status between MTIs or something with the industry. What do you think we can do?
Firstly, on a lighter note, did you ask this question purposely to me only? Because all the principals, faculties are sitting over here, and you're asking me what we can do to upskill them. On a serious note, what comes to my mind is this we have followed at T.S. Rahman. I think faculty, if they have the latest knowledge, and how they will have it is if they go on board. But that's a financially and logistically challenging thing to do. But with C-SPAN, if sir is here, they had a very good system called company training officers, and we had sent 2 of our chief engineers for that CTO. They used to teach the students on board, but when they came back with tremendous knowledge and what is happening latest. So I'll urge shipping companies that if such program collectively can be done. Right now we are talking to a shipping company whose ships are plying in coastal regions of India, and we are trying to do that so that the faculty who have left ship probably 3 years, 4 years back, they are up to the mark, and they can deliver the best. Of course, now they can teach them and they can learn things, but when you yourself handle such equipment, then you are more capable to deliver it. Number 2, as clearly said, MTI should engage their faculty with each other. And the gentleman sitting to my right, we are already talking on that terms, that our faculty will be exchanged. So whatever best practices we are following, whatever best practices they are following, whatever best practices other institutes are following, we can imbibe them, because collectively we should take India forward, not think in our silos that my institute, your institute. Finally, the student who's going is representing India. So I feel that we should collaborate with each other and get these ideas. Technologically, Captain Prakash has said it very clearly that yes, the faculty needs to be upskilled. But one more area where I feel there can be certain development is action-based research projects. So it's like sort of research, but if the MTIs allow the faculties to do research on certain related to maritime field only, if their brains work on that level, understand what they will deliver to the students and how they will make them inquisitive about different aspects of shipping. So these are 4 pointers, and later on I know what is going to happen. So thank you for the question.
So, you can, okay.
1 minute. In this regard, I would just like to add that in Ganpat University, the master mariner and the chief engineers, they have been given the problem statements, and they are doing the research on that only.
Wonderful.
That is one part which Captain Apandkar's problem is there, because it has to be research-based, outcome-based research should be there. We should not do the PhD in something which doesn't have the linkages with marine department.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Captain Apandkar, and sorry that I had to give you that one. All right, next we move on. I think I regard him as the technology man of maritime training in India. Definitely a stalwart with regards to bringing advanced training, technologies to the maritime industry in India. So I have got a question on those very lines, Sanjeev, Vakil sir. So what are some of the cutting edge technologies that you are working behind in your secret laboratories? Maybe you can give us some insights to that.
Thank you, Captain Arvind. Thank you, Shankar, FSM team, and those who are sitting over there. There's no secrecy. I think knowledge is something which is to be shared. So I think the more you share, the more you gain. That's what it is. So we all moved from classroom. From classroom, today we saw even what Gaurav Bajaj, probably I think he said everything what was to be told by me. I think he has shown it across practically. We have moved to cloud simulators. From cloud simulators, we are now going towards the students, what they want, the new technologies, the gadgets which can happen on your mobile phones, and the learning which can be more interactive. For which case, okay, the buzzwords which today we have been hearing across as the virtual reality, the augmented reality. So these are the two labs which probably are there, which the students are experiencing globally. Many institutes have come forward, and we have moved from the hardware to a software and the training. And next is the mixed reality. So going from the virtual reality and then to experience how the mixed reality is going to be is you would probably have a chief engineer sitting ashore, and you'll have probably 3 ships parallelly having the same ship, say turbocharger is to be repaired or serviced. The person here would probably be able to guide across, and that's how the mixed reality or the digital twin, which will be going across, would help. And in terms of Captain Sriprakash or Captain Chandrasekhar, next Ashutosh, what they meant, each and everything, if I could say, it is all getting into the augmented reality part of it. He told on the LNG bunkering and everything, what the new technology is coming across. I've been told that one of the shipping companies who is already investing on a VR simulator and AR simulator, not in India, but abroad somewhere, where you could have the bunkering operations also made into that particular part of it. When Captain Chandrasekhar told, yes, Anglo-Eastern did have a new manifold on bunkering. We also have a small bunkering manifold since we do the IGF course, which is going to be the new guidelines coming up across from the administration. And it will be easy. It would be easy for, one is, okay, use the simulators. People have been using simulators, but then also when you want to do it live, can it be done across? Yes. Do it to your own hands with an augmented reality. Have a bunker manifold in front of you, open up, everything, all those things can be done. So that's the technology which we could use across. To the faculty, yes, there are many more things. Today the whole world talks on ChatGPT, the AI tools. It is used how you want to use. For the faculty also, unlike going to every library and picking up books, today they can just click a button and then probably they can have their notes, but they should be creative enough. They should be smarter enough because the students are smarter than them. Today to certainly even the assignments given to them, they go to the ChatGPT. There is something which can come up as a customized custom GPT. Custom GPT could be, say if DG Shipping wants, they can call DG Shipping GPT. So you have everything data, all the data of that particular organization, you could have it customized. If I say HIMT, then HIMT GPT I have, and all the data of HIMT, right from the induction to the process to the material, consent to that particular organization can be had across, and the students can certainly access that. They can make assignments, everything, but there are lots of challenges still available because even the whole global world is not only maritime, but is also facing the same challenge. What type of software, research especially. In research, the research scholars today are using ChatGPT. So how do you, which tool is there to find out that the research is not just a copied thing or thing? So that again, though Turnitin has been considered as good, but then still there are many more AI tools which will be required across to find out whether what is going to be more probably practically from the students. So these are few things. There are many more things like Kahoot or Multimate, all those things. There are many more. Every day you have something new coming across, and we all have to be into technology. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Very insightful, and you all might have heard of Rocket Man, and I think I'm going to call him the VR and AR man of Indian maritime. All right, the next question, definitely to Devesh, a close friend also and a colleague. So this question actually popped up in my head. Now, I saw the video of Manet, and one thing that really resonated with me is those wonderful sports facilities that you had, right? And then Devesh and me spoke about yesterday about him being a marathoner, connecting the two dots together. Let's explore, from a hiring and shipping company perspective, how do you see the role of sports and extracurricular activities? How do they help to contribute to building the future mariner?
Thanks, Arvind, and the question really connects with, I think, you and me very well. We both are running marathons also. I would like to start with the famous quote from Aristotle. Excellence is not a singular act. It is a habit. And when you see in the sports, a lot of leadership activities, you learn over there. Discipline, time management, teamwork, proper communication, strategy. So all these things plays a very, very important part. If I ask you when your learning was started, it's not in the classroom. And today we all know that we are sending our kids first to the play school. We ask them to go and play now, work in a team. So that is how the learning starts. And sports, I very well remember in a leadership training what we do for our seafarers. One of the seafarers asked the instructor, what are the qualities for a good leader? And he asked him very nicely, do you play any team sports? And he said, yes. Then he said, you already know. You don't have to, reinvent anything. You know already. It's only just a realization. So, in my opinion, sports plays a very important part. It puts you in a real life situation. Theoretical learning starts with the classroom. So that is good. A base is required. Now we talked about simulators. So it's a very controlled environment where you learn practically things how they will operate. There is no fear, you're going to have a blackout or you're going to have some accident. But there is no real life pressure actually. You are always in comfort zone. But when you are playing sports, you are having those real life situations. So same like on board a ship, you need to have instant decision making in a fraction of a second. You need to learn from your mistakes. So all these things, I think a sports deliver you very, very well, making a good leader. Last but not least, like you lost 12 kgs from your last, this one. So it's very, very important for your physical and mental wellness also. When I am talking to our cadets, I always tell them, if you have a hobby, you play any sports, I know there is a restriction on how many sports you can play on board. But I always tell them, please carry your hobby with you on board. Spend time. Spend time in the gym. Those days are gone when people used to say, oh, you are going to gym, that means you have plenty free time. Let me give you some extra work. So those days are gone. Even when I was sailing as a chief engineer, I always encourage my team to come to the gym and spend some time over there. So it is very important, and now we have seen maritime institutes, companies, all are organizing so many events on the sports. Even the DG is now coming up with all those activities. So that shows how the industry is moving towards the sports now. So my final takeaway from this will be, keep playing and keep learning.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Devesh. And that
Thank
gives
you.
me an idea. Maybe Shaukat, maybe Shaukat should have a national MTI's games, an annual event, bring them all together in one city, and then we could have that. Wonderful. Thank you so much, and thank you so much, panelists. I will take questions from the audience. I do have some time. Thank you so much for being so kind, finishing on time. But I still have 4 minutes. Any questions from the audience? Yes, sir, please. Can somebody pass a mic? Wait, I'll give mine so that they can use that.
Yes, we'll have that passed.
Now, since most of you all are from the institutes, what is your view on this reduction of sea time and moving to simulators? It was there, earlier the simulators were not there, but when the STW allowed for 12 months, we were still doing DNS 18 months and all that. I don't know, as ship owners, we like to do because there's no training is a big luxury to give space, right? So what is your all views on this reduction in sea times? Now it's come to 6 months, plus 3 month simulators. Can you all share some idea on this? All of you all, whoever wants to talk on this.
Okay, nothing can match the real sea time. I would say that's the personal opinion. The industry has been driven by, all the stakeholders at the IMO, everywhere. So the whole thing started because of reasons as how much of berths are available on board. If number of ships were more, if number of berths were available, then the best option would have been to be on board and learn. The simulators would not 100% give what is actual. The mind frame of a person also would not be the same as what he is going to be on board. However, I could have a simulator with a 360-degree simulator with a platform of having rolling, pitching, everything, but then nothing can match that. So that's a personal opinion. Though I know I could see various WhatsApp groups and the discussion is going on at the IMO level of reduction across, and one of the administration is already trying it out to reduce at the entry level by 1 month if you reduce across, and then how much of thing. But then that's my practical opinion, and then it's debatable. So if the only answer to this would be that let's have more ships, let's give that sea time to the cadets back to back so that they don't have to keep waiting and don't have an excuse that, okay, to meet up that, we try to have simulators. Thank you.
Arvind, just one. Just to answer your question, sir, the thought which came to my mind was, and what sir was talking about sports. Sea time reduction, as per me, is really a disaster, as it is short sea time, short voyages. But real-time scenario, what he mentioned very clearly, that you are not, once you are in simulator, you, at the back of your mind, it is all the time going that this is not a real-life situation. You can take a ship and probably, hit it also. Nothing is going to happen. So yes, it can help you to understand what is onboard condition, but it will not test you for real-life situations. And it should not happen that a cadet who's just learning then take this as a very high-end video game. There are debatable points, but just to tell you, to reduce this, we are coming up with something very unique in India, which no one has tried. I will not reveal it right now, but coming to your point, which is very important, coming to real-life situation where a candidate will go through every aspect of training which he's going to face on board also. So yes, I have my opinion that sea time should not be reduced, and you can innovate training so that you come as close as possible to real-life situations. Thanks.
Arvind, may I just add?
But what
on
is
to
that
this?
you're keeping it a secret? You're saying you will not relieve it now?
Yeah, it will be shown.
So Arvind, may I just add on to this, because on the panel I see everyone is from the MTIs and I'm the only one from as a company. I see a challenge over here, because when we go to the ship owner now also, and we are proposing a candidate just finished the COC, they see their sea time. As a company now, even for our engine cadets, we have 12 months of sea time because we want to give them 2 vessel experience, variety of vessel. Maybe this reduction, in my opinion, may be better when you have an autonomous ship, because for them it's a similar kind of a training. But at present, there will be more gap coming with this particular thing.
They are all looking at dinner. They all are looking at dinner.
Hello. So my name is Jayaditya Goroy. I'm from HIMT and I'm a GME candidate. So my question is to Dr. Vakil sir. Sir, we are always moving towards the future, so we are trying to adapt virtual reality and augmented reality. That's very good. But in real life, like when we are overhauling some machines and we do mess up something, then there is no restart button. But in augmented reality and virtual reality, we always have a comfort of restarting the system. So how come we can get out of that comfort zone and squeeze out the benefit from virtual reality machines?
Yeah, a good question. Yes. So to answer your question, the next stage which you all cadets probably should start is we should do a parallel training. Probably, suppose you're overhauling a purifier. Let's have one in augmented reality and let's do one physically without an instructor in both the places. Just put you across and then do it across. And let's see what mistakes can happen. Okay, you can't do the same thing on a real ship, but at an institute where you can break and make things, for sure you could do that. And of course, the default points. Okay, if you are saying you can always, in a simulator or an augmented reality, you can always have the negative marking, which probably on a physical place, you might not be able to do it. It will be the instructor specific. One instructor would say, that's fine. One instructor says the marks would not be the same. So probably that's one way which I could answer it across right now, but though I don't know if it's a satisfactory answer, but this is one way which we could look across, because the whole world, as Mr. Devesh did mention, we are going towards autonomous ships, and that is going to come, if not today, 2 decades later, 3 decades later. Yes, it is coming across, but at that given time, we all will have to be realistic. 20 years back, none of us thought mobile would be there. But today, we can forget a pen, but you cannot come out without a mobile, right? Each of us have it. So we'll reach a stage where that only will be a part of it. Even today cockpit pilot, a pilot also doesn't, he does a training on a simulator, and that is too intensive. We all are traveling on these flights with those pilots who are trained and retrained on the simulator. They don't again and again go and have the flying time. The flying time is fixed, but then it's only a simulator which they do every 5 years.
Thank you, sir, for making flying more scary for me. But last closing statement from Devesh and...
Okay, so just to answer this question, your cadet, the training time, see the classroom training is a 10% of your training. Then 20% is your peer learning, which you will go on board. So training doesn't finish in the college. It continues till your COC, and it's even you become chief engineer, master. So learning is a continuous process. So you have to understand, 10% is your classroom, 20% is your peer learning, and the 70% what practically you do. And like just mentioned, Nissan actually did this trial, all those video game players on the racing games, they put them actually into the real world. They did very good. So simulated training is just an aid. It's not a replacement of the real world.
Wonderful.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, all of you. And thank you, Shankar, again, for this panel discussion. And thank you, audience, most importantly. Thank you. You clapped for us loudly, and you stayed with us. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Captain Arvind. Thank you. And all the panelists, the session was very insightful. Thank you. Captain Shankar Mukherjee, I request you to please hand over the mementos to our panelists. A heartfelt thank you from all of us. Thank you, gentlemen. Well, I'd like to thank all the gentlemen on stage. Thank you.